Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Rose, and in today's video I would like us to discuss a story I saw yesterday on the BBC website. And as soon as I saw that story, I actually screen recorded it, so I'm gonna put it here so you can read it for yourself. The story is about this man from the UK who has lost over £85,000. He sent all that money to a woman in Kenya because he was planning to move from the UK to Kenya because he had found love in Kenya. Now, the reason why I am discussing this story is that there's a woman on TikTok who actually talked about it, and I went to the comment section and I saw women there celebrating. Okay, I saw women there saying, "Oh yes, we are so proud of our Kenyan sister." I'm like, what are you proud of? What exactly are you proud of? Because no one deserves to lose his or her life saving simply because they were looking for love online. And mind you, this guy was not actually looking for love online per se. So he used to work in Kenya with the United Nations, and while there, obviously he made friends while he was working in Kenya. And one of the friends that he had made in Kenya is the one who actually introduced him to this woman, because after working in Kenya for a long time, he returned to the UK, and unfortunately in 2019 he lost his wife. Then of course this friend that he had made in Kenya, they were in contact, and of course he knew that he had lost his wife. So he tells him, well, since you lost your wife, you shouldn't be alone. You know, there is this lady I can introduce you to, and she's a nice lady and all that. So anyway, so apparently he got talking to this lady, and they started making plans, and they started making plans of building a house back in Kenya. So he decided maybe he should just move back to Kenya because he had lived there. I guess he liked it there, so he didn't have a problem moving back there. And now he has found love. So he was in the process of moving his life from the UK to Kenya. So anyway, he sends all this money, totaling, as I said, of £85,000, and then the woman disappeared. Okay, so the money is gone, all his life savings is gone. I think he even ended up selling his house because currently, according to the story, and you can pause it and read, he's living in a flat, in a shared facility flat. Somebody who had his own house. And this is what we are celebrating on TikTok. I'm like, how? Anyway, I feel like, first of all, this guy is blaming the bank. I don't think he should be blaming the bank because there is only so much the bank can say. And if you read the story, the bank officials tried to warn him about this, about the transfers that he was making to Kenya. But of course, if he's telling the bank that he's buying or he's building a house in Kenya because he's going to retire there, what is the bank supposed to do? Besides, it's very difficult to advise somebody in love. It's very difficult to advise somebody in love. It's very difficult to advise religious people. And it's very difficult to advise Kenyan content creators on TikTok on how to behave. Anywho, now, I feel like it's so unfortunate that we would celebrate somebody's downfall. You know, I see these women on TikTok, especially who are working overseas, and then they lose money. Maybe they've been sending money back home for different projects, and then they are scammed. They're even scammed by family members, and then they're so sad. They're like, all my work, I've been working for years, and this is what I've been working for, and then I come back and I find, there is nothing there. They just used my money to benefit themselves, and they are crying and crying. This is the same thing that has happened to this man. He has lost all his life savings because he thought he was coming to retire in Kenya, and he was scammed. And we are celebrating. We are celebrating. How heartless can we be? Anyway, I feel like people need to be careful, okay? I feel like maybe what he should have, but then it's very difficult to say, because you could say, well, what he could have done is go to Kenya and just start, doing things while he's there. But he trusted this woman. He trusted this woman. They were building this life together. They were building this house because they were going to live in that house together because they were in love. So it's really difficult. So it's so unfortunate that we would celebrate, as I said. I feel sorry for this man. But I also feel like he shouldn't be blaming the bank, because the bank, there's like the bank, you know, he's like, I'm the victim. I feel like the bank should have done more, you know, to help me and to stop me from making these transfers. They cannot. It's your money. They cannot tell you what to do with your money. I feel like it's difficult. Another thing I want to touch on while I'm talking about this, for those of you who have watched my previous videos or my live streams here on YouTube, you have you've heard me mention that there are some women on TikTok who are actually recruiting other women to be doing such things to senior citizens. You know, European senior citizens, American senior citizens. This is what they are campaigning for. For a man like this, an older man, to end up almost homeless. So when they see this, I suppose that's why some of them are in that woman's comment section celebrating, saying they are so proud of their sister, of what she has done. This man is innocent. He did not colonize anyone. He did not do anything. All he did is he thought he found love online. That's all he did. He has lost everything. So there are some women, and there is actually one particular woman who is living in the UK, and that is what she is doing on TikTok. She's recruiting women on how to target old men, old men from UK. How to target them, especially target them during winter when they are lonely. Make sure you are targeting the ones that their wives had died, so they are sad and lonely, and it's winter and they are depressed. Make sure you target those ones, because they are easy. They are easy. You can tell them to sell their houses, and then they can come and live with you, and make sure all the money that they are going to accumulate from selling their houses and from selling their cars and their assets, they are going to put that money in your bank account. That's what she's doing on TikTok. That is exactly what she's doing on TikTok, and she lives in the UK. Her videos are public. They are on public domain. I'm not saying something that she has not put there. Just because she speaks in Swahili, it doesn't mean that you know, that people don't know what she's talking about. She says that you need to target senior citizens during winter time and make sure they are very lonely. Make sure they, you know, so you make sure you pretend you are in love with them. Tell them how wonderful they are. Tell them. That's what she does. And she's charging money actually to recruit these women to do that. It's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate that, you know, people will just target vulnerable, lonely people. And now we see these stories like this. And they are saying that they are talking about online dating. That is not online dating. That is scamming old people. They're recruiting people, they're recruiting women to scam old people. They are scammers themselves. Maybe that's how they ended up in the UK. I don't know. Maybe they scammed somebody. I don't know. But this is what they are saying. They're like, make sure in fact, make sure he comes to your country. Make sure he comes to Kenya. Make sure he buys properties in Kenya. Exactly what this man went through. I'm so sorry for this man, as I said. I hope somehow, you know, he says the quality of life, you know, he is so poor now. Obviously, he had a good life. He has worked all his life. He has saved up, him and his late wife, may she rest in peace. And now he's just gonna be, I don't know what's gonna happen to him. Like, I feel so sorry. Like, I feel it's so bad. It's bad, guys. It's really bad. If you're going to go for somebody, just go knowing that your heart is clear, your conscience is clear, and just, you know, unless, of course, if you're doing a transactional relationship, and this is why I always say, be open with someone. But of course, this is just a case of scam. They just scammed this man, and now he's stranded without a house, without savings. How would you feel if it was you? If your savings were taken by somebody that you thought you were in love with, that you thought you were building a life with, how would you feel? You who is recruiting people to scam old people, how would you feel if something like that happened to you? You worked all your life, all your sweat and tears and everything, somebody just takes and just vanishes. It's not a good feeling. I hope this man is strong enough to overcome what has happened to him, because it's really bad. And as I said, I'm so concerned that he's not actually blaming the people who did this to him. He's blaming the bank. Anyway, my name is Rose. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. Please, if you're going to be in an age gap relationship, please stop taking advantage of people. Just be in the open if it's a transactional relationship. You get what you're getting, he gets what he's getting, then everybody's happy. Nobody's going home crying and complaining. Another thing I want to add is the video I posted the other day. I realized the audio quality was not very good because I recorded it on my camera. And of course I wasn't in the usual place that I record my videos. So, but I hope you got the message. I feel like that video had a very strong message about single moms doing online dating. I hope you still got the message. And I'm still waiting for your comments. It doesn't have many comments. I'm still waiting for your comments on that. Please comment on this video as well, what you think about this. I mean, read the story and then just tell me what you think, because for me, I just feel sorry for this man, and I feel it's so unfortunate that somebody will purposely target an innocent, vulnerable old man and just take all his savings. Like, that is just unfair. It's so unfair. And I hope the universe will find a way to punish those people, because what they have done, it's absolutely horrible. I feel like the man, maybe they just planned with that woman, and maybe they, you know, I don't know. I really don't know what happened, but I'm really sorry for what happened to this man. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Please like, share, subscribe if you're watching this without subscribing. And I also want to announce that I'm working on something. There's a project that I'm working on, and I hope that I will get your support. And thank you so much, and I shall see you on my next one. Bye bye for now.